All right, everybody. It's Sunday night, 11 p.m. Eastern. That means one thing. New edition of the Backdoor Cover, live and ready to go. Kyle, cheers, buddy. It's getting nuts.
Cheers to you. I actually left my moonshine over at my mom's house, her family, and so I got a drink. I have a couple Coronas, and I got these fucking hard seltzer things with fruit in them. Really, really bad. They're terrible, by the way. Just absolutely god awful. I don't know why this is a thing anymore, but
I'm not gonna. I hate doing free ads. I hate it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did a free ad.
I hate it. But I will say this: I tried those truly hard iced teas. They're trash. They're shit. But what's not shit? Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale makes a hard iced tea, brother. Real good.
We're going to start writing all these ones down that we talk about so we can reach out. Like, look, you at least owe us a few bucks, right? For Christ's sake.
That's right. Some people, like the great people over at Tax Relief Advocates.
True, correct.
If you have any sort of tax issues, if you owe the IRS some money, listen, who doesn't? It happens, right? It happens. BlackJack Fletcher may owe the IRS some money from gambling winnings in Pennsylvania.
Who knows?
If BlackJack Fletcher decided to settle those debts, he would call Tax Relief Advocates at 1-888-710-2434, 1-888-710-2434, because they are going to make that as painless as possible and limit that debt that I have to pay.
That's cool. That's exactly right. And if you were like me and you were having to pay your ex-wife's bills, tax bills, they can get you sorted out there. Plus, with all the COVID stuff and all the different stuff, the child tax credit, they can help you with all of that stuff. So you need to call them for that.
That's right. Tax Relief Advocates. Give them a call, 888-710-2434. The show is sponsored by them. So any complaints you may have, editorial or otherwise, direct to them at 1-888-710-2434.
That's correct. What if they just start having a hotline now? Like, we thought you were bringing us customers. It's just a complaint hotline where everyone
calls are calls, Kyle.
Calls. That's right. Exposure is exposure. What's up, Kyle? Stop at DFS. Thanks for joining us, bro.
So what's going on, brother? How's the last week been?
It's been a good week. It felt like, even though football came back, it felt a little lethargic. It felt a little slow. I did enjoy the UFC pay-per-view last night, even though the main event was pretty boring and Derek Lewis was disappointing. But look, anytime from here until the Super Bowl, we have NFL football every week, whether it's crappy preseason games or not. So football is back. So that means our workload is quadrupled now.
It has, but it's so much better than talking about baseball.
Yes, it is. Hey, I will say, I talked about the damn under strikeout props last week. We had a perfect week again last week. We're going for 7 in a row on our SBR props company we work for. 15 of the last 17 strikeout under props on these crappy pitchers have cashed.
You have been nailing this.
I'm telling you, it's a gold mine that I had no idea about. This was an untapped minefield for me until I started looking into it. And just because you guys are tuning in and watching us right now, I got my eyes on 3 pitchers early tomorrow. 3 pitchers. I'm going to pick one in the morning. I'll wait till the odds come out. But 3 guys to keep a close eye on, especially if you get a number around 3.5. You get these under 3.5, under 4.5. Forgot Bo Burrows from Minnesota pitching against the White Sox has not gone more than 3 innings in his last 5 starts. Sam Hentges, Cleveland, going against Cincinnati. Cincinnati can now platoon from the right and the left with Moustakas. Castellanos coming back. Now they're platooning Suarez, who actually, incidentally enough, hits righties better than lefties. So it's kind of a weird platoon with Moustakas there. And Zach Thompson going up against those San Diego Padres. They're going to struggle tomorrow. 3 pitchers I got my eye on. The under strikeout props. It started as an experiment. It's turned into a holy shit. This actually works, and it's easier than you think. We're going to keep it rolling this week just for you guys here at BTV. There we go.
I love that. Untapped markets. If there's anything out there that has been untapped, Kyle Purviance is going to tap it.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. And hopefully don't go to jail for it.
Let's hope not.
Don't worry. I'm not channeling my inner Trevor Bauer anytime soon. We'll be fine.
No. You're not punching any vaginas.
I don't think so. I'm afraid to smell them. I'm not going to punch them.
Let's bring in a known vagina puncher himself, Brian Howard.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's right on cue, guys. Thanks for the introduction.
So let's jump in this because we got a question here in the comments that do you think Oklahoma and Texas will be in the SEC in 2025? I think it's done, right? It seems like a done deal.
They're going to be there well before. Brian, take over. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as resident SEC expert, yeah, I mean, they're already in. They've already. They'll probably be in before that.
Yeah. They're just going to pay. Don't they have to like pay something?
They're going to buy their way out of that contract.
They'll just buy it out, right? They don't care. They have so much money. They don't give a shit.
Now, let me ask you, Kyle, because I don't know if we got into this in depth. I get it from the money perspective, right? Like, I get it. The SEC is where the money is. They're building this massive, gigantic super conference. But if you're Texas and Oklahoma, you're never winning anything anymore, right? Like,
yeah, it's over.
That's gone.
Yeah,
like,
you just burned yourself. There's a reason that Notre Dame refuses to join a conference. It's because they know they join the big boys, they're going to get their asses kicked and their brand is going to be hurt. What's good for Oklahoma and Texas is those, in that part of the country, they love themselves some Oklahoma and Texas, so they'll still get the money. But no, you're going to get your ass kicked every year by Alabama and Florida and LSU. Once in a while, Oklahoma has a good team. Yeah,
here's the thing, right? This expansion to what looks like going to be a 12-team playoff means that these schools still have a chance to get in, but you're competing now in conference against the likes of Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, LSU, Florida, Kentucky, Brian. For all of this talent, you'll be the 8 or 9 seed in the playoff, and you're going to get curb stomped by these teams that are in your conference. I just don't understand it.
It's bizarre. I guess it's just a big money grab, and maybe they're just tired of. I really can't explain it. Why would you want to take away your chance? Oklahoma and Texas have a chance every year to be in the BCS because they can win their conference and they can win their conference title game. That's over now. That's over now. Goodbye. It's done. You have just
Texas. You're recruiting against. I understand that all of these schools are recruiting the same talent for the most part, but now you're selling kids on. We're in the SEC against these other schools. We're not the top 2 in the Big 12. We're top 6 in the SEC. I don't get it. I don't understand the logic to it. I get the money, right? I get the money.
I think maybe it's just that maybe the president at Oklahoma and the president at Texas, they hate their cohorts at Oklahoma State and Texas Tech, Texas A&M, and maybe they kind of want to stick it to them. Okay, the only thing that makes any rational sense to me is there was some negotiation where Oklahoma and Texas said, listen, I want extra money. We're bringing in all this money, but we're splitting it with you guys. We're splitting it with Baylor. We're splitting it with all you crappy schools. You don't bring in anything. And we want a bigger piece of the pie. They said no. And they're like, okay, then we'll take our ball and go home. We'll go to the SEC. We'll guarantee our money and we'll see how well you guys fare when we're not in the conference. Because that can't be a conference anymore, right? The Big 12's dead.
And that's the next question, right? And Brian, I'll ask you this. What are the next dominoes to fall? It only goes one of 2 ways, right? Either the Big 12 starts poaching or other conferences start poaching from the Big 12. So you've got Kansas, a big basketball program, right? That's sitting out there. But if you're the Big 12, do you try to preempt this? Maybe you try to bring in a Houston, an SMU. Do you try to reload this conference?
Yeah, I don't know that there's any help for them. I think they're going to get poached, actually. And speaking of all of this, if Texas feelings get hurt over horns down in the Big 12, you think the SEC's writing a rule to stop that? Wait till they get a Saturday night in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I get it. That's the only thing this has to be some petty spite move by them, right? Something, because otherwise it makes no sense. Why would you want? It's like you're in a bar fight, right? And you got you and your couple buddies, and you're like, yeah, we can take these 3. You know what? Let's make it more fun. Grab the 2 bouncers and put them on your side, so you can definitely lose. No one would ever do that. Why would you want to purposely go get embarrassed? I feel like that's what's going to happen, especially to Texas. Maybe not Oklahoma. They tend to still have it, but Texas has shown a propensity to be really, really bad. And there's a lot of good schools in that state that they're having to compete with now. When's the next time you could see once Texas goes to the SEC, when's the next time you're going to favor them to be the conference champion?
Here's the thing, right? When they were in the Big 12, and I some people might disagree with me about this, but I think this is the fact that the University of Texas was out recruited by Baylor, Texas A&M, TCU, maybe Houston, maybe. I mean, this team was fielding the 4th or 5th best roster in the state of Texas. Now you're going to the SEC. I don't see the draw. Like I see Chris Clark here says that Texas and Oklahoma kids will want to stay home to play for the SEC. Why? When you're going to get your ass kicked in the SEC.
Exactly. I don't think the Big 12 was stopping kids from playing at Texas. I think it was they want to get the hell out of Texas. Let's be real
here. And we talked about this. I know, Brian, you and I talked about this with Shaka Smart with the basketball program in Texas. If you have spent any amount of time in that state, and I have over the last few years, the University of Texas is like the fucking New York Yankees. Everyone in that state wants to go there. Every kid with talent wants to play there. Like, it is the biggest thing, and yet they brought in Shaka Smart, how that dude – they must have been so floored when Marquette called and said, we want Shaka Smart. Like, can we pay you to take him?
Right.
I mean, the dude got 6 years and never had better than a second-round exit.
Right. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And the basketball thing's weird because – so I'm not exactly sure how it works because I see like Notre Dame's in the SEC in basketball, right? And then
ACC.
They're not in anything, or ACC, whatever. So teams are in different conferences in basketball and football. So maybe basketball can stay alive because of what you mentioned in Kansas and Texas. You know, I would say Texas is a better basketball school lately than they are a football school. Even though I had plus money on them last year in the tournament, and they absolutely let me down.
They screwed me good.
I thought they were the most athletic team in
Abilene Christian.
Yeah, just it was absolutely fucking atrocious.
But
they're a better basketball school than football school. So I don't understand this power move. I think it's cool for college football. I'd rather see all the good teams play each other. I could give two shits about teams
I
like
guess the question
Southwest
now, if
Missouri State existing.
Well, I mean, and let's be honest here, Kyle. Like, the reality of college football today is the Pac-12 is USC and Oregon, and I mean, who cares, right? I mean, like, honestly, who cares?
Nobody. I don't care. It's
the Big 12 is falling apart. The Big 10 is Ohio State and a bunch of trash.
Yeah.
If you're the ACC, do you now say, all right, fine, you want to super conference this shit up, let's go do it? If you're the ACC, you obviously are trying to twist Notre Dame's arm any way you possibly can to get them in, but I don't think they're going to move. But if you're the ACC, are you out here targeting other schools? Are you looking at maybe a West Virginia who geographically kind of fits? Decent program?
I think geographics are going to be out the window. I don't think it's going to matter. I honest to God don't. Like Ohio State, like the Big 10 and the ACC are the two schools most aligned to compete with, especially with the ACC getting Oklahoma and Texas. That's the conference. That's where football is played. The only two conferences that can say, hey, maybe we can try to do something here where it's us versus them, you know, it's the good guys and the bad, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
A team versus B team, whatever, you know, the Globetrotters versus the Senators, whatever it is. It's those two conferences, right? So that's going to be the power move. Can the ACC, can Clemson and Miami, Florida State, and maybe Notre Dame talk a Michigan or an Ohio State or a Penn State into, like, Penn State almost fits geographically. Penn State does. It's not that far away, even though, you know, I mean, it's the rapiest school of all time. They deserve nothing. Penn State should just be burned to the ground.
Facts.
But yeah, in fact, so should Notre Dame. All the Catholic schools, all the weird religious schools, all the pedophile schools, just burn them to the ground. Just let it happen. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But it's going to be one of those conferences that talks one of the other, you know, the Big Ten's like, hey, Clemson, come join us. We'll give you such and such money. And Clemson's like, screw it. We'll do it, even though we're, you know, it's going to be something like that because otherwise it's just the SEC and nothing else. You have the SEC and you have Clemson and Notre Dame. That's it. Done. Ohio State, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State's the only outlier, right? But the reality of the situation is, I mean, the last how many titles have been won by SEC and ACC schools? I mean, it's
yeah.
You know, I mean, even going back to Florida State when they had Jameis Winston, it's all ACC and SEC. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then Ohio State gets punted by 800 points. You know, in the big games, just like Notre Dame does. Just like Notre Dame.
That's the thing, right? Like it's funny. I was talking. We talk about ex-wives on here. I was talking to my ex-wife tonight. She went to Florida State.
Oh.
Very upset about Bobby Bowden passing away today. You know, R.I.P. But she mentioned something about how, I wish we'd been as good as Notre Dame over the last few years. And I was like, hold on a second. You wish you were good enough just to get in the playoff and get blown out by 30 points?
Embarrassed.
Because I'll say this, at least when Florida State is good, they're genuinely good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been competitive. Yeah. Notre Dame is fake competitive. It's bullshit. They schedule this cupcake schedule with Navy and Army and Syracuse and all this bullshit, and they go 12-0 and get blasted. Like that's not competitive.
No. They've been a fraud since, I don't know, Tim Brown in 1989 or 88. They've basically been a fraud, right? Every single year. They just get stomped on by anyone who's competitive because, number one, they have high academic standards. That's not good when you're trying to get a bunch of strong meatheads to play football. And you have this weird, religious crap that as we start to evolve, people realize is more and more ridiculous, and they stay away from that as well. So it's tougher to field a team. Look, when you tell a kid, come to Alabama, we don't care if you got a 2.5 GPA in high school, and we don't give a damn what you do. Come here and knock heads, and then you get to Notre Dame. It's like, oh, you're going to maintain a 3.5 GPA, and you're going to worship Jesus on Sundays? No thanks.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
And it's South Bend, Indiana, which I've been doing.
It's Indiana.
It's a dump. It's a dump. Okay, that is can I tell you that was probably the most disappointing college campus I've ever been to. I drove across the continent 2 years ago to go to the Grey Cup in Calgary, from Toronto to Calgary. And I stopped in Notre Dame for a basketball game against Presbyterian, which they didn't cover, by the way.
Of course.
I have never been more disappointed with a college campus in town than I was with South Bend, Indiana, and Notre Dame. I expected to kind of be like, wowed a little bit. Like it's Notre Dame, right? Like you're on the campus of Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. Shithole. A shithole. The town sucked. No bars. Dumpsville. If you go to South Bend, Indiana, you're an idiot.
Of course not. You probably have to take communion on the corners, right? Gross.
You're taking something on the corner.
No, thank you. No, thank you. All right. Can we say fuck college football? For me, I can't stand college sports, period. Like all across the board. It's terrible. Unless it's like college volleyball of a certain ilk. Then I like that. But
you mean like UCLA women's college volleyball?
Bingo. 100%. You actually nailed it right on the head. That's the only, like Arizona State. You want to watch that volleyball team, okay?
Yep. Pac-12 women's volleyball. That's what you want.
That's it. Other than that, college sports suck. They all suck. If you're worth anything nowadays, they already know when you're in high school. Yeah, I mean, football ruins you because you just get hurt and they shoot you up and everything. Like college basketball is garbage. None of the kids.
Are we like Brian? Right now, knowing I don't know a ton about this upcoming college football season, but would you honestly take a bet that anyone other than Alabama or Clemson is going to win this national title?
No.
No. That's the point.
That's exactly it. Yeah, no, thank you. I'll just pass on the whole season. It's just a fucking hard no. It's a hard no. I can't take anything seriously with lines at, minus 34.5. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I'm out.
Yeah, and they try to make it better and more interesting with the playoffs, but let's be honest, it's the same shit every year.
Yep, exactly. 100%. 100%. And it's Alabama, Clemson, and like, okay, who are the two teams who are going to get the shit kicked out of them? Oh, but this Ohio State guy looks really good. Squashed. Here we go. Moving on. Alabama, Clemson. Okay.
So, all right. So let's transition from college football. Let's talk a little bit of Major League Baseball here because the fucking Yankees keep testing positive for COVID. I don't really understand it. I mean, let me ask you this because this is a question I had going back, and I know, Kyle, we talked a little bit about this with Chris Paul heading into the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Should we be testing vaccinated players every day?
No. Brian, take it away. No, it's bullshit. Yeah, you've gotten tested.
I agree. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Sorry, it was just lagged a little bit, so I didn't know you started in. But I'd love to hear what you have to say, and then I'll rant on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm sorry for the lag. I'm trying to figure it out here. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Kentucky internet sucks. It's okay on Sunday. Anyways, they're the most vaccinated team in pro sports.
Yep.
From what I understand, and they keep testing positive, and again, I don't know what kind of tests they're getting, but let's be honest, these COVID tests are clearly unreliable. My grandmother has had 6 of them in the past week, and every other one's positive. So we don't know if she's got it or if she doesn't.
And she's
who
vaccinated.
the hell knows?
Yeah, and even
yes, she's vaccinated.
If you are vaccinated, now actually, I don't even think they should be testing unvaccinated players anymore. If you are willing to risk it and get sick, the whole point of getting the vaccine is, okay, if some other asshole has it, and I am around them, I'm not going to get it because I'm vaccinated. And they're showing some people do get it even though you're vaccinated, but you don't get
But they're not
sick.
getting sick.
You're not getting sick. So you just have it. You walk around, you're fucking fine. Maybe you have a slight fever. So you're telling me now people can't go do their job because they have a slight fever or because their tummy hurts a little bit? Like, what the hell are we talking about here? Imagine if they did this for the flu. Michael Jordan flu game would have never, even though it wasn't the flu, it was food poisoning by the shitty racist fans in Utah. That's fine. That's fine. When that's a whole fucking show by itself. But it's just bullshit. If you're vaccinated, who gives a fuck if you test positive? You're less likely to give it to somebody, and you're not going to be sick. There has been plenty of time. If you want the vaccine, you can get it. It takes 5 fucking. There's no line out the door for the COVID vaccine. You can
Anytime you want it.
You can walk into any Albertsons, any Stater Brothers, any, Piggly Wiggly. You can go to any goddamn grocery store, Rite Aid, CVS, and have it within 5 fucking minutes. So everyone who wants it.
Yeah, hell, ask Leo.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this. Like, I'm literally, I live in Florida, and it's on the news now constantly that numbers in Florida are going through the roof and whatever. And, and I will say this. There's a lot of people that will mock our governor down here, Ron DeSantis. I wasn't the biggest fan of him, but I'll give him credit for this. He's just turned around and said, we're not going backwards. We're not fucking doing it. Like, I'm not going back to this shit. Yeah. I'm not doing it.
And it's the right thing. I think I know the guy. It's time to move on. Everyone who wants to have the vaccine has gotten it. And we're good.
Nobody fucking asks you, hey, did you get your flu shot this year? Did you get your flu shot?
No.
Nobody fucking asks.
Yeah.
Okay?
Who's asking? I mean, you know this. We all have kids. When you send your kids to school, you got to have fucking 14 goddamn shots, and you got to have this whole card filled out, and it's got to be up to date. And there's this hepatitis and that hepatitis. Have you ever been asked, hey, before you come in here, do you have your hepatitis C shot? Fuck off. Like, what the hell are we talking about?
I'm tired
here?
of this shit. I'm fucking tired of it.
Everyone is.
I'm done talking about it. Like,
they need to let this shit go. COVID is here to stay. We're going to have this
different part of life. Okay.
It's a different
but the reality is, it's a minuscule part of life.
Yes.
Okay.
The death rate even at its height.
Accept.
Even the death rate at its height. Yes. 600,000 people died. Most of those people were going to die anyways from anything they got. If they got pink eye, they were going to fucking die. Okay, we're talking about 85-year-old people who couldn't fucking control their own bowel movements, and we're blaming COVID for them dying. Yes, would they have lived a couple extra days? Maybe, but as soon as anything, as soon as they pricked their finger cutting an onion, or fucking, as soon as they fell off the toilet seat and couldn't get to their walker, they were dead. They were dead. They were fucking dead.
We call that
it was over. It was fucking over for them.
Just get vaccinated. Just get vaccinated.
Listen, I'm all for vaccinations. Everyone show we're all vaccinated. I'm all for it.
Oh, yes, and if a bunch of idiots would have just done it the first time, we would be done with this.
This is just a common sense thing. It's a common sense thing, right? I don't want to get sick. If there's we talked about this, Kyle, 3 weeks ago. If there's a vaccine for the fucking common cold, I'll get it, okay? Because I don't want to get sick. But at the same time, I also understand there's some people that aren't going to do it. I disagree with it. I think they're wrong. But this, you hit the nail on the head. This is going to be a part of life moving forward. It's going to be a very small part of life and an acceptable part of life. Yes, move the fuck on.
The death rate is less than 0.5%. More people, I mean, it's almost more dangerous to drive to your local supermarket than it is to fucking be around someone with COVID.
You are more likely to be killed driving to get the COVID vaccine than you are of COVID.
Exactly. It's enough. Enough is enough. No one fucking cares anymore. I don't know who or why or how they're keeping this going, but
I do. Media, because it fucking fuels the media. People watch TV. Listen,
and people want to be a victim. They want to. Here's what people want. They want to be pissed off that things are shut down, or that you have to do things you're not supposed to do, or you can't go to work. But they also don't want to have an excuse for not doing any of those things. Like, oh, well, I don't feel safe going to work because people aren't getting vaccinated and COVID is dangerous. But also, they don't fucking want to go back to work in the first place anyway.
Well, that is. Can I tell you?
It's an excuse. Sure you two, it's a goddamn excuse.
I'm sure you two have experienced this, and it is getting out of fucking control. Every business you drive by has a help wanted sign in the window.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, because we've got a government that is just handing out money, hand over fist. Hold on. Work.
I got something to say about this. I'm very passionate about this. 99% of those places are fast food joints paying $7.25 a fucking hour.
You're right about that.
Why the fuck would I want to go back to that job if I'm getting any money from the government? Secondly, like you said, there's other places hiring. I'm going to the $15 an hour job well before I go to fucking Lee's Famous Recipe or KFC trying to get a job.
Brian, I don't disagree with you about that, but can you tell me why the government is still giving COVID stimulus money to people when there's no fucking reason? Go back to work. Listen, I'm not going to shame people. If you're a fast food worker, then that's your lot. I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't be sitting on your fucking ass at home and collecting money from the government that we're all paying for.
Well, and there's two things to this too. Number one, I am never against anyone getting anything that helps their lives, and I'm never jealous or mad or upset about that.
I'm mad about the government giving it out.
I do believe you build a better world by starting from the bottom up, not from the top down. And it's about fucking time that I'm of two minds of this. It's about fucking time. If you look from the 1970s, the cost of living has gone up 800%, but the average wage of the regular worker, not the CEO, has gone up 1%. So there has certainly been a discrepancy in the cost of living and the wages increase. The bulk of this growing economy has gone to the top 1%. I mean, the richest 100 people in America are richer than the bottom 5 million. So there's something fucking wrong there. And it's about time people at the bottom got something. I'm fine with that. But I'm tired of COVID now being the excuse. It's the excuse to be angry and say everything's fucked up and why is everything shut down? But it's also your excuse like, well, I can't go do what I'm supposed to do because of COVID. Someone fucking help me. You can't have it both ways. You got to pick. No, it's got to be one way or the other. Otherwise, we're going to be spinning around in fucking circles. And it's never going to be fixed.
I saw a TikTok from John Taffer, personal friend of mine. No big deal.
Hey, bar rescue. I love that.
No big deal. Personal friend of mine.
Is that him, right? That's the bar rescue guy, right?
Yes, it is. And John Taffer made a point that
he's the man. I love John.
He's on my TV right now.
I want to fucking party with John Taffer.
Let me tell you, I know John Taffer. I got his number. We'll go to Vegas.
Let's have him go to Vegas with us. Let's go.
John Taffer said something on TikTok the other day that was, I thought, incredibly salient. He said kind of what you just said, Kyle, about how he doesn't begrudge people who are working in the food and beverage industry for taking this money. He said, but what you should be doing is using this money to further your career, to get education in something else or training in something else. He said, because if all you're planning on doing is going back in 6 or 12 months to the same job, you've done nothing. You've wasted everyone's time.
Yep.
And that's the problem I have is you're going to have people take this money and sit on their ass for a year instead of putting it to use. Go do something. Figure it out. Make things better for yourself, but they won't. They're just depending on the government to give them more money. And you're right. We're using COVID as an excuse. If Joe Biden wants to try to fix the economy, then come out and say, I want to try to do something. Don't blame it on a pandemic that's fucking over.
It's over. Who cares about COVID anymore? Nobody. It's over. It's over.
Dude, it's not just the workers taking this money, man. These PPS loans
or
whatever they're
the Los Angeles Lakers
took the Lakers taking the money. Of course.
Like, what the fuck is that? Like, you want to fire me up? That's what'll fire me up about the whole thing. It's not the guy that's working concession stands getting the money. It's this fucking bullshit. And you're an idiot, Todd Damien. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, it's basic math, bro. He did not win. If he would have won, he'd be there.
No.
It's a simple counting. It's a simple counting exercise. One has more than the other. I mean, that's it. I don't know.
Math is hard for those people.
It can be, Sometimes reality is tough. But yeah, it bugs me. I don't watch the news anymore. I just simply can't do it. It just pisses me off. I can't do it. So people ask me, like, did you see that? And I'm like, no, I haven't, because humans love to be victims. There's something that turns human beings on, especially in America, about being a victim. And they love, it's just something they crave. So I'm the victim of the pandemic. Hey, no, how are you doing? Well, I'm still struggling financially, because of COVID. Bullshit. Everything is fucking open. There's nowhere in this country that's not fucking open. It's wide open. But they're hanging on to this excuse. You've got to have a reason to be a victim. Just like this fucking audits are coming. Jesus, fucking Christ. Are you kidding me?
Can we touch
No,
on
listen, I'm sorry. Let me
touch
just
on
say
one other
this.
thing about this guy.
Go ahead.
Why is it that every Trump supporter that spews this bullshit that this guy's spewing has the same goddamn profile picture? It's them with a selfie with these fucking mirrored Ray-Bans on.
I'm not going to knock. I'm not
going
going to knock mirrored Ray-Ban.
Ray-Ban.
I've got about 6 pair on the table next to me. I'm not going to knock mirrored Ray-Ban.
Yeah, but that's not your fucking profile picture.
I mean, it was for a while.
Oh,
Look,
shut up.
The problem for me is you can't say someone cheated when the only proof of anyone cheating is someone calling and saying, hey, find me these votes that didn't exist and I'll take care of the rest. There's only one side who actually tried to cheat.
You want to be realistic about Donald Trump, and I think we're in a space here that is, well, it's not safe for anybody, but we're being honest.
It's fine. I don't hate Trump supporters at all.
Donald Trump probably would have cruised to re-election had COVID not happened. Okay,
yes, 100%.
But it did, and he fucked it up. And I'm sorry. You can look back now and say maybe you agree with some of what he did, maybe you disagree, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
But at the time, he botched it. Okay, and it set the table for a Joe Biden because Joe Biden couldn't hold up to the rigors of a real campaign. He couldn't fucking do it. Okay, this was the perfect scenario for Joe Biden. Yeah. He won the election. Okay, at the end of the day, Joe Biden's no fucking better. He's a clown too. They're all fucking clowns.
All fucking clowns.
Okay? They're all terrible.
That's the thing that bugs me. I don't give a shit if you support Trump, Biden, I don't give a shit what your affiliation is. The thing that bothers me is why are we worshiping political figures as these like heroes? These guys don't get. You think Donald Trump gave a shit about you?
Todd,
you think Donald Trump would shit in your face before he would give you $1?
Come down to Florida, Todd. Go over to Palm Beach Island and try to get into Mar-a-Lago and see what Donald Trump says to you.
Yeah, tell him you love him. Wear your hat when you go in there.
Fucking property.
Remind me of all the time. Have you ever? I remember when I was a kid. Were my parents running around with Bill Clinton and George Bush hats on?
No.
That's such an inbred goat fucking thing to do.
That shit started with Obama.
You're worshiping a fucking politician who's a reality TV star who's against abortion but is paid for 50. Like, get the fuck, quit worshiping these people. Not a single Democrat, not a single Republican gives a fuck about
any of us.
They care about that cushy little job they have, the 2 offices, the $200,000 a year, the guaranteed pension, and the fame.
And all the perks that you don't even see.
If you're worshiping a politician or think they care about you, you are fucking sadly mistaken. And I got these magic beans to sell you. You plant them in the ground, you go right up to the beanstalk and get the magic skull. It's fucking stupid.
It's stupid. It is. No, it's bullshit. It is. And I think it started really with Obama. It was kind of a cult of personality. Yeah. And then the obvious counter reaction to that is Donald Trump. Yeah. And now it's like, okay, so we're dyed in the wool here. Like, they're all fucking assholes. They're all assholes.
Every one of them.
And here's the reality of this to me with politics, and it's why I'm fucking out on it. Every 4 years, we all get worked up and we all get crazy about this. The reality is, all 3 of us and most of the people watching the show are in the middle class. We are all going to get fucked. It's just a question of for whom.
Exactly.
Democrats like to give money to poor people. Republicans give it to businesses. That's the reality. We're paying the freight no matter what.
Yep, 100% correct. I don't think I could have said it better myself. I think it's 100% right.
Pardon me for a minute. I'm busy buying Safe Moon. Seems to be pretty.
What is that?
So
what the hell is Safe Moon?
I don't know, but I'm buying it
just to invest in it.
If you're poor or you're a minority, you're screwed off the top. You're only as valuable as your vote is. So, I live in Oregon. So Democrats win Oregon no matter what. So my vote doesn't mean anything. You think they come here and try to change anything? No, they try to fuck you over. But if you live in Wisconsin around election time, you're a very, very popular person.
Dude, Kyle, what is it? 6, 7 states decide presidential elections now?
Yes. Think about it. We have a Senate that decides everything, right? The Senate is the most powerful body of our government. That's how it feels to me anyways. We have states like Montana with 14 people that get 2 senators. Then you got states like Texas and California with 50 million people, and they also get 2 senators. Doesn't make any fucking sense. It's crazy. It's craziness.
Our government's a shit show.
And what do you think our forefathers would say? Can you imagine Thomas Jefferson waking up, being brought back to life 200 years later, 250 years later, and he goes, wait, hold on 1 second. You're telling me you guys haven't written anything new? We're still using the same document me and my fucking slave-owning rapist friends wrote fucking 250 years ago? That's what we're using? You guys are dumber than we ever thought you could be. It's crazy.
It's because crazy. We can't agree on anything.
Exactly.
One side says the sky is blue. The other side says, I don't know about that.
Yeah. It's just
so ridiculous.
It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. It's insane. It's always insane to me who think like the people like, I support this guy because he cares about you're high on drugs, dude.
No, he doesn't.
Not care about
he doesn't.
They do not.
I promise you he doesn't. Okay.
Nobody's vote matters.
And listen, I remember in 2008 when Barack Obama was running and got elected, and Barack Obama felt different than what we had seen in our lifetimes, right? Like it was different.
Because it made us feel less racist as a country. Like, okay,
then, we're not. Yes,
but I can't get it done. Okay.
Barack Obama was kind of a different politician. He was a little bit transcendent in the way he spoke, and it was different. And then he gets elected with a Democratic House and a Democratic Senate, and it takes him 3 fucking years to pass health care. 3 years.
Filibuster, baby.
How is that possible?
Because of the filibuster. They put these crazy rules into place. Each time someone gets into power, they put a crazy rule into place to fuck over the other guys. It just carries over.
Yeah. I'll tell you why it takes 3 years. And it's based right here in Kentucky. Mitch fucking McConnell.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about him. I don't think he's the greatest, obviously.
He's got a beautiful turkey neck.
Yeah, he's got the best gobbler I've ever seen.
He's a turtle.
But it's all about like the money.
Asshole.
So
he's the one that's leading these filibusters. He stops everything. If it's not Republican brought, he's out on it.
Yeah. No, everyone. My boy Skywalker, which he's my boy in there. They've all lost their fucking minds. All of them have.
That's it.
That's the problem. They've all lost
their
fucking minds. I don't understand it. I can't stand like the. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're all scum.
It's Mitch McConnell on one side, Nancy Pelosi on the other, and it's like, all right, so we're all just fucked.
These are two people that have to wear adult diapers, and they're making the most important decisions in the country. And by the way, they're making their decisions based on who gave them the blowy last time in their office, or who's got.
And dude, that's all it comes down to is the money. It all comes down to the money, and it's sickening. It's sickening on both sides. It's a joke.
Yeah, it is. It's a total joke.
That's why I say anybody
who fight.
I'll never understand the passion for
anybody who is truly passionate about politics. Like I can't deal with you. Like you're passionate about something that's fucking meaningless. You might as well be passionate about the Cleveland Browns. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. If you think that you're voting for someone because they're gonna somehow make your life better and save the country, you may as well fucking write in your Christmas list to Santa Claus and expect the. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just fucking craziness.
And you know what they both do? Both parties fuck almost everyone on their taxes, which is why we need tax relief advocates.
That's exactly right.
Tax relief advocates going to help soften that blow on the tax bill. They're going to reduce what you have to pay. They'll get you a great payment plan. 1-888-710-2434. 888-710-2434. Tax relief advocates. Check them out.
Hey, can we talk about the UFC? Did you guys watch the fights yesterday?
No.
Because I love UFC. So UFC for me is like the one sport I don't do shows about, but I study really close that no one really knows. So it's like my one little secret that I keep for myself, and I win some bets, and I love watching it. Cyril Gahn. I gotta say, it looked really impressive. Now that fight, now you got a title versus title fight with Francis Ngannou. I think that's going to be a lot more interesting than people think. We're talking about a guy, though. It shows you how weird Ultimate Fighting is. He's only fought 9 professional fights, and now he's a guy that looks like he's going to be on top of it, kind of like Brock Lesnar. So does it actually take a bunch of skill, or do you just have to be a big fucking dumb meathead athlete and you can dominate the sport?
I think Kyle, that in that division, I think you can get away with being real fucking big and powerful, right? Like, I don't know if as a cruiserweight or a middleweight you can get away with that, right? I mean, you tell me. I could.
No. I think you're right about that, but it is interesting because the most glamorous thing to be in professional sports is the heavyweight champ, and it's real. People always ask, how come boxing makes so much more money than in the UFC? And I think it's because of this. Outside of Mike Tyson, who did it very early with 19-20 wins back, in '86 when he beat Spinks.
Yep.
You have to go through
20-some
hundreds of amateur fights. You've got to medal in the Olympics. You've got to work your way up and go through different, all this crap that makes boxing dirty, the promoters, etc., before you finally get to fight for the title. It's like in UFC, this dude became a pro in 2018, started training in France. Next thing you know, he's the number 2 heavyweight in the world outside of Francis Ngannou, and he actually has a solid chance to beat him if he can keep using that speed. So I think that it devalues the sport a little bit. Maybe I'm looking too much into that. And one more thing, please, UFC, get rid of the calf kicks. For fuck's sake, I do not want to watch another fight decided by calf kicks. It makes me want to rip my face off.
I don't disagree with that.
Can I ask one question about UFC?
Sure. Not that I'm the end all be all on this. I'm just telling you, it's my secret passion.
No. And this isn't a very
It's like me jerking off to the 1987 version of Vanna White's Playboy. Okay, it's what I do in secret, and I have to put a towel down because I can't have my back cold. I have very certain rules when I jerk off, so it's important.
Fair enough. So why can I buy the Conor McGregor fight for the same price as I can buy that shitty card last night?
Right.
Like, I would have watched
dynamic pricing?
if it was $35.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I will say this. I actually thought last night's card was good. There was a few fights I was really interested in. But again, you'd have to start being more of a UFC snob, right? So maybe the name, but Vicente Luque, Michael Chiesa, and Fiziev versus Bobby Green. That was the prelim main event. But there were some good fights on the card. But Dana White's all about the UFC's already proven it. They don't pay their fighters. They don't.
I think you hit the nail on the head though with the difference between boxing, Kyle. Because if you take Deontay Wilder, for example, you could tell what Deontay Wilder was within 5 or 6 fights.
Right.
He had to win 33 professional fights in a row before getting a shot at the heavyweight title. 33.
Well,
exactly. And we're talking about a kid last night. Go ahead.
I think there's so many different federations in boxing that's what it is. They can avoid shit like that. Like you watch the Top Rank on Fox Sports or ESPN, and there's guys ducking people. Like they won't fight up and comers. They want them to fight 30 times because there's so many federations and so many bullshit rules and bullshit fighters. They just keep doing what they're doing, the bare minimum to keep the belt.
But they also make money. Like
they make a shitload more than UFC fighters.
UFC fighters, they're getting equal pay-per-view buys on some of these bigger fights. And that all goes back to you. They built a fucking island during the pandemic. You know what? We can't fight in the United States and we can't have fans. We'll build a fucking island. We'll take an entire island in one of the oil richest parts of the country. And we're gonna buy the whole fucking thing and build a huge complex there, and we're gonna get it done in less than a year. When does that ever happen in America? Never. Where you fucking build something like that in less than a year? You can't put a speed bump in front of my house in less than a year in America. You can't get solar power in less than a year in America.
You know why? Lawyers.
We're silly. We're a silly pussy ass country.
Like
lawyers
over there. No,
I think there's a lot of reasons. It goes there. We're gonna piss everyone off when we do it. No, lawyers is one of them. And then you have,
look at the fucking
maybe rightfully so. environmentalists on one side, then you have the people that want to just destroy the entire planet on the other side, and they're all fighting for one little sliver here. And the only way I'm going to vote yes on this is if you build a library in my name in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I mean, you know, all this crazy shit that these fucking assholes do going back to, but that's why we're so silly. But the UFC makes so much money, and you have their fighters literally say on screen. I remember I watched this fight. It was during the pandemic. It was March or April of 2020. This kid won the fight, and he said he won, and he's crying in his interview, and he goes, "I didn't do good enough." And the guy goes, "What are you talking about?" Paul Felder, I think it was, like, "What are you talking about, man? You won. You looked really, really good. You did awesome." And he goes, "Well, I didn't knock him out, so I'm not going to get the $50,000 bonus. Without that, I have to go to work tomorrow. I have to work in a grocery store receiving warehouse tomorrow." And he started crying, going, "I can't even imagine. I have to fly in tonight and go back to work tomorrow because I didn't make enough money tonight because I didn't get the bonus." That's fucking pathetic. I'm sorry. Pathetic.
It's funny you said that. There was a video going around the Twitter this week where some chick won the 50,000 and like broke down because she's borrowed a bunch of money and like she's dead fucking broke and she's getting her ass whipped, constantly training. And
Brandon Royval, that's what it was.
Yeah, like that was awesome. Like,
yeah, but how
was
sad
awesome
is that?
She got it, but it sucks because I mean Dana White sounds like a huge asshole, right?
And he also looks super cool when you watch those like Nelk Boys and stuff. Like, man, this guy looks fun to party with. I liked, and he doesn't give a fuck. But it is true, man. Those fighters, they don't make a lot. That's why they can't sniff boxing. If you're a parent and you have a talented striking child, you have a child who's, you know, you put them in boxing class and they're just whooping ass. You're going to tell them to be a boxer? You're going to tell them to be a UFC fighter? I mean, it's
way less punishment.
Way less punishment. You're not getting, and I know people always say this to me, and I love Skywalker, he's my boy, but I'm not saying get rid of kicks in UFC, but the low calf kick is the most chicken shit fucking attack I've ever, besides the foot stomp, is the most chicken shit attack I've ever seen in any fucking sort of martial art or fight. And it's just too effective. A guy sitting there trying to punch you and you just kick him in the leg and then the fight's over. It's, oh, good Lord. The guy can't even stand up anymore. Because can you imagine you get in a bar fight and someone kicks you in the calf? I'm going to rip that fucking guy's teeth out. Yeah, kick me in the calf. It's disrespectful. Disrespectful. It's disrespectful. It's fucking disrespectful.
Are you drinking water?
You mentioned. I got my vodka right here.
Put water down, Leo.
It's been like fucking 95 degrees out here. I'm dehydrated.
I don't ever get to call him by his real name. I've actually never even.
No, that's not me. He's referring to one of our coworkers. Which, by the way, I want to get your take on this, Kyle. We have a coworker, 26-year-old, a fucking moron. I love him. His name is Leo. Okay. He was talking about our Vegas trip that he might want to get a cigar. And I said, don't get a long one. It's going to look like a dick in your mouth. Get a short one like Winston Churchill. His response to me was, who?
Oh, no. Oh, no. So that's who we have to babysit on this trip?
Oh, it's going to be bad. Kyle,
is he going to be the first one puking?
Kyle, it's not even going to be that. This is going to be a real-life hangover situation. He's going to go missing. Except we're not scouring Vegas for him. Like, I'll check the bedrooms and the suite, and that's about it.
Well, I'm sort of a bleeding heart with something, so I'll probably search for it. Am I gonna like fall in love with him the second I see him?
No. You'll not search for him.
He's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
No shot.
Fair enough. Yeah,
he's Greek, and he's gonna say a lot of Greek words to you early on, and you can be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Malacca.
Okay, fair enough.
Malacca. I was gonna say that a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Nobody does.
Nobody does. Nobody gives a fuck.
All right, so this is the guy we're going to have the strippers whip at the strip club. I'm going to give her my belt and say, whip this kid, pull him on stage.
No, this is the guy. It's our one goal for him and his girlfriend to get married while we're there.
Yeah, this is the guy who brings his girlfriend to Vegas.
Wait, he's bringing his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yes, so they have to get married.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You don't bring sand to the beach. Has anyone told him that?
No. I mean, we've tried, Kyle. We've tried.
It's all right. We're gonna have some. We're gonna make this boy a man when he comes out there. And Leo, I don't know you yet, but I'm looking forward to this. I'm gonna take you under my wing. We're gonna teach you. He actually is gonna probably get broken up while he's out there.
Oh, that. I mean, that's Give it.
Leo once had BlackJack's balls on his face.
Yeah, that did happen. Listen, Kyle, you know me well enough at this point.
Let's go.
There are few things in this life that I take more pride in than my ability to drink.
That's right.
I am a prolific drinker. I take a great amount of pride in it. And I told this kid before I met him for the first time, I said, you're not going to be able to hang. And he kept telling me, I'll drink you under the table. I said, okay, buddy, okay. So we got out to Lexington, Kentucky, and we went out drinking, and we're going.
It's the first time we all met.
I bought him a $30 shot of Elmer T. Lee bourbon, real good bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
He drank that bourbon. Brian and I looked at each other and said, we got to get this big fucker home because he's about to fall. Got him back to the apartment he was staying in. He lays down on the couch, Kyle, and says, I need a bucket. I said, what? He goes, I need a bucket. Not where's the bathroom. I need a bucket. So I did what any responsible person would do, and I put my balls on his face. That's the video.
It's a very good thing to do.
I took the picture. Credit to me.
Well, this is gonna be a great trip. This is gonna be a great trip. Now, listen, I don't have a problem with someone having. Sometimes a shot hits you wrong, right? Especially you get old like me, you got blood in your stomach, and who fucking knows what else is in there after years and years of punishment. But you just grab the nearest trash can, you puke it out, you spit, you blow out your nose, and you rock and roll. You got to
fucking rally.
You got to rally.
Fucking rally.
I puke and rally all the time. Sometimes there's blood in it. People freak out. I tell them it's okay. It's part of the deal.
It's no big deal.
You don't ask for a bucket.
No, you never, ever, ever, ever. Unless it's if your mom's around, you can ask because she won't tell anybody.
Well, unless it's your mom, in which
my
case
mom will tell everyone everything. Of course, she will, but it's fine.
My mom will tell me get my ass in the bathroom.
So the Oreo Speedwagon concert. So those of you guys watching, you need to
come on out to Vegas.
Come out to Vegas. Yeah, you're out in Vegas. Meet us, party with us. We're gonna have a great time. So the Oreo Speedwagon concert's at 6:00 Friday night.
9:00. 9:00 Pacific time.
Because I got to do a show at so I'm going to try to get to I'm going to leave at like noon. I'm going to make it a quick 30-minute baseball show that day. Straight
you got plenty of time. I'm getting in like 6:00 at night. Going to go check in, hit the wagon.
Boom.
It's gonna be great.
I can't fucking wait. I'm bringing the fucking white pimp suit that I got robbed in last time. Shit's going down. Shit's going down. And you need a couple hours to find a Coke dealer so we can go to the fucking concert in style. Yeah, we should be fine. What's
Vegas?
What?
Just go down to the Four Queens. It's anywhere on the floor.
How do you think I'm going to stay awake in Vegas? Think I'm taking echinacea? Of course I'm fucking finding a Coke dealer. Good Lord.
He's kidding.
No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Brian might come home to the same thing.
We're gonna try to make Brian. Or wait, are you bringing your wife out there?
No, he's not an idiot.
No,
that a babe. No,
although
if she's listening, I would love to meet you. And I'm not saying you can't come. BlackJack.
No, she's actually really fucking awesome. But actually, I'm going to Vegas and then going from Vegas with BlackJack back to Florida. I'm not going to see her for almost 2 weeks.
Wait, what are you guys doing in Florida? I can't.
We're going to the University of Miami, Michigan State game.
Jesus.
College tour.
I love that. Well, I'm not that fucking cool. I'll be ready to go. Well, I kind of want to, but it's my son's junior year. I have to move shit around just to get my dog and my son looked after and get people to pick me up. But we're gonna have some fun in Vegas, man. I cannot.
Skywalker's got you.
That's my boy. Skywalker's cool. Since I very first started this, one of the very first people to ever watch my show, and he started it. I mean, years ago when I was still putting roofs on and building houses and talking sports at night at like 2 a.m, like you guys are.
So Peyton Manning went into the Hall of Fame tonight.
Yeah, deservedly so. No, I don't give a fuck about any of that. Like
Tom Brady was there. That was
nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Tom Brady was there. That was nice.
Yeah, and I guess he did some cute. Here's the thing that bugs me the most about all this stuff. Adam Schefter. Did you guys follow Adam Schefter on Twitter?
Unfortunately, yes.
You have to during the football season, right? To get the breaking news.
The injuries, you have to follow.
How many times has Adam Schefter woke you up before your alarm was about to go off with a fucking tweet that didn't matter? Or like the night before, like, okay, let's just throw out a name. Aaron Jones has an injured ankle, is questionable for tomorrow. Then you get 45 straight fucking tweets from Adam Schefter, more on Aaron Jones having an injured ankle and being questionable tomorrow. We asked Aaron Jones, what do you think? They didn't respond. I fucking hate Adam Schefter. And the tweets he sent out about the Hall of Fame, my phone, I was trying to take a little nap today in between family time.
Like that.
And of course, here it is. Field Yates and Adam Schefter with their lame ass, corny, stupid, fucking no information.
How Peyton Manning could be the commissioner of the NFL.
Yeah. Like it makes me want to jerk off on. Like I just want to just like. I hate him. I hate those guys. They drive me nuts, but they're a necessary evil because they're connected with ESPN, unfortunately.
Do you all follow David Chow, the football doc on the Pro Football Doc on Twitter?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's who you should follow. Less wordy than Schefter, and he used to be the team doctor for the Chargers, so he's pretty good.
Wait, is he the guy that shot Tyrod Taylor in the with the needle?
No,
because that's not the team doctor you want. That's not the guy you want to follow. He's dangerous.
Fucking Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, Jay Glazer the same fucking way. They're just so annoying, and it sucks that they're connected. And then there's a lot of these guys. Do you guys notice these like sports writers who actually work for local papers that send out bullshit stories that aren't true, and they say, according to my sources. I get so many things. I can't tell you how many people texted me thinking that Max Scherzer was a San Diego Padre.
Oh, it was all over the place.
I'm like, you're high on drugs. It
was all over the place.
It's not verified. You guys are fucking losers. It's not verified at all. These guys are.
You think that's bad? You should follow European soccer during transfer windows.
No, you
like because those journalism people, they have no rules at all. They will just make shit up.
Yeah. Well, the fundamental problem with that is that you're talking about soccer. So soccer would have to be a fundamentally followable sport without the offsides rule for me to follow anyone that follows soccer.
Right there.
Sorry, you suck, Big BlackJack. You can eat shit too because I think that show I'm on Saturday mornings at 8:00 does pretty fucking good for this company.
Oh yeah, we should probably pump up. I guess that's a good point. We should probably pump up soccer, even though I secretly hate it. But I love the work. Hey, trust me, if I was going to bet soccer, I would watch it, but I cannot sit through a soccer game. It makes me want to kill myself. Like, honestly, it makes me wish that my mom had I wish that I felt the inside of a Dyson when that happens.
I tell you what, I'll make you a deal. And that's terrible. That's awful.
I should say that. I should say that. I
love every second of it.
I wish that I felt the inside of a Dyson.
Can we make sure that that's on like the little clip we tweet out? Because
Tax Relief Advocates 1-888-710-2434. Call them.
That's it.
So I will challenge you to this: come to a United States soccer match that makes a difference, a World Cup qualifier, something of that nature. You'll party your fucking balls off, and you'll never ever say a bad word about it again.
Will I enjoy the party or watching because I'll just be wanting the game to be over, right? And I'll never know when it's going to be over. They're like, well, it's supposed to be over now, but we've thrown in these phantom minutes that may or may not need to be there. I'm not exactly sure why those existing. It's like if you're playing baseball, right? It's the bottom of the ninth. You're up 5-2. You're up 5-2. You throw that third strikeout. The game's over. Then the umpire's like, you know what? I want to see a couple more hitters. I'm not going to tell you how many. just send. We're going to give you maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 outs. I'm not exactly sure. It just depends on how we like the commercial breaks or whatever the fuck happens. I don't know. It's so confusing. It's ridiculous. It's silly.
Wow.
Inside of a Dyson.
There you go.
Inside of a
Dyson.
That
was a good line. I'm actually proud of that one. I'm actually proud of that one.
That was a great line. Don't sell yourself short. That was a great line.
That's what I'm proud of. We're building up to a great Vegas trip. We're gonna have to do a lot of live shit, right, and record and stuff. I said I was gonna get my ticket last week, but I got sidetracked. This week I'll have it done. I'll send you my itinerary. I'll be there before
sidetracked.
I'll be there and ready to get fresh and so clean before that REO Speed. Because if you don't think there's going to be some hungry cougars at that REO Speedwagon concert, I'm about to get me the hottest 55-year-old in Vegas.
Out in Summerlin? Are you kidding me?
I'm getting the hottest 55-year-old in Nevada. The hottest one.
Let's go.
Let's go. It's gonna be fucking amazing. Brian, of course, will not be doing that. He's a very faithful and honorable man, and so he'll just be watching, making sure we get home safe.
Dude,
obviously,
to be perfectly honest with you, I'm way too old for that shit now. Look, it's hard enough to please
my age.
woman.
You're my age.
Yeah, but I've never understood how, like, it's hard enough to please one woman. Why would you try to please two or three at the same time? Like,
we're not trying to please.
I'm not trying to please any of them.
First of all, yeah, Kyle's not trying to please any of them.
If I two-pump chump, I'm proud of myself. Like, thank God I just lowered my workload. Get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out.
What did
all that means is I don't have to share my orange juice with you.
Was it Bernie Mac who said something about a heavyweight prize fight? The rounds are 3 minutes, like, and you want me to go 30? Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. I'm not trying to please any of them. In fact, it's my unequivocal goal not to please them in any way, shape, or form. I don't ever want them thinking that I'm doing anything for them whatsoever. That's the goal.
The only problem with that, though, is your comments earlier about having to pay your wife's bills and her taxes.
That's how we learned.
Maybe that's how that happened.
That's called college.
That's how we learned.
I went to college and got my degree on how not to do that again. I got my degree, a bachelor's degree. I got a PhD in how not to get fucked over by a woman again. PhD.
Yeah.
Cheers to that, my man.
I mean,
my kids,
Brian, you don't know. You haven't been through the wonderful world of divorce.
Oh, it's such a fun fucking carnival ride.
I'd rather not. I've sat through enough divorce trials to understand how bad they are. I'd rather just, I'm kind of in now. It's been
listen. You might not be alone here. There's plenty of people who tell me I'm going through a midlife crisis, but I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying the shit out of it.
Hey, I ain't mad at you.
I got an 81 Corvette getting delivered. I can't fucking wait to drive it.
What?
No, you
got it for $8,000 too. Black with the gold pinstripes, 49,000 miles. The AC still works, baby. $8,000 I got it for. Come on. Come on.
This fucking guy.
Should I have saved it for my son's college fund? Of course I should.
I wouldn't even be getting a plane ticket. I'd be driving that thing to Vegas.
Oh,
yes.
I'm afraid of airplanes, but I don't like. That's a long drive,
You made a comment in the opener about being 75 miles from an airport. Where the fuck do you live?
Butt fuck Egypt, Oregon. But Skywalker. I wish.
Fair enough, Skywalker.
Life goals, baby. Life goals.
Live in Oregon?
Yeah, I live in Oregon.
You live in Oregon?
I lived in San Diego for a long time, but I moved up here with my son.
Your son who doesn't live with you.
My son who doesn't live. Oh, by the way,
having
a teenage son. So my son is a really good kid, and he doesn't do a lot of partying or anything. There's none of that stuff, There's a local fair. 16. He's 16.
And he doesn't party?
Doesn't party a lot. I mean, yeah. Well,
so
I've tried to make it. So him and my nephew is 17. So they're buddies, right? So him and his cousin, they run around town. My nephew's 6'5", 280 pounds, an absolute fucking monster. My son is 5'10", 130 pounds soaking wet, So it's these, and they've recently gotten girlfriends and they're running around doing their shit, And last night they're like, we want to go to the fair. We're taking our girlfriends, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, fine. Be home by 1 o'clock. And, this is the night. This is a small redneck town. This is when the meth head rednecks, the rednecks and the meth heads are out. So I want you guys to be careful. That's all I say. And be home by 1 o'clock.
And carnies.
Yeah, and carnies. 12:55 rolls around. I haven't heard shit. I'm texting them. No one's answering. So I watch too many murder shows on TV when I'm falling asleep, so I'm super paranoid. I'm like, well, fucking great. Perfect. Fucking a murder couple grabbed them up. They murdered my nephew and my son, and everything's bad. I'm ready to start a search party at 12:56 p.m. or a.m., whatever you want to call it, last night. Luckily, they called me a few minutes later. They're like, oh, sorry, our phone was just in the car. We were inside of Denny's. And I'm like, you little pricks. I don't pay for you to have a phone for you not to fucking answer. Stressful. It was a stress. I have gray hair today because of that. So I am going through a midlife crisis, justifiably so. I'm dealing with the son who doesn't live with me. Although, where is that hater who says my son doesn't live with me and I beat him? They're not even.
I don't know where Tim Allen is tonight.
No Tim Allen.
Maybe,
What was the other guy?
it's-
Sparty. We can't figure out Sparty.
Sparty, I think Sparty's your ex-wife.
Sparty could be my ex-wife. She's just not watching tonight.
Hey,
Invite. Everyone's
I
invited
got
to
another
Vegas.
question.
We'll be at the Palms. Come hit us up.
Come on down.
Yeah. How old are you again, Kyle?
39. I'm 39. I'll be 40 in a few short months.
And you have a 16-year-old?
Yes, I do.
Like, that's one of those things. Like, I look back, like, my parents had me when they were 20. But like, I look back at my life and I'm like, if I would have had a child at 23, like, there's no way that child would be normal. Like, I was not.
I don't know if
prepared
he's
to have children.
normal. I don't know if he's normal, but he's a good kid. He's actually a great kid. So.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like,
Yeah.
23 years old and a child's pretty fucking. I mean, like, I couldn't. All the partying I did between then and when I had a child, like, I couldn't imagine having to try to be settled down at that point.
It was different. I didn't party that much back. Actually, I did the whole married life thing, unfortunately, blah, 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 blah. Damn, half chupacabra. I have a girl I call chupacabra. That's only because she has like a clit that looks like a wiener. It's weird. It's a fact. I seen it with my own two eyes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I seen it with my own two eyes.
All right. I think that's probably the point we should end on here. I don't know how we can possibly top that.
I love this show. This is the best show. This doesn't even work. It's crazy.
No, this is just fun. This is just sitting around bullshitting on a Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, clits like chupacabras. That's where this is going to end. Vegas, September 10th through the 14th. If you're going to be in town, come on out. Hit one of us up. We're out there. We're going to be very open. If people want to come and hang out, come and hang out. It's going to be a great time. First week of the NFL season. We're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, as always, thank you for watching. Backdoor Cover brought to you by Better Than Vegas at BTV Bets on Twitter and Tax Relief Advocates at TR Advocates. And call them at 1-888-710-2434 with any of your tax issues or comments or questions, complaints about this show.
Can I add one more thing? Come follow us on Twitter. We're always giving out.
Please.
I'm giving out bets every day. BlackJack is, Brian is, Better Than Vegas
Better
is.
Than Vegas giving out free fucking money every day.
Money. Vote on a
gave away
poll.
a lot of free money
out.
in baseball this week.
Yeah,
A lot of free money.
I mean, come on. It's a lot of
At
fun.
BTV Bets, all you have to do is follow the account and retweet the contest tweet each day, and you are eligible to win hundreds of dollars a day free.
Without doing shit.
Totally free.
I mean, and everyone's like us. We're all a bunch of crazy fuckers over there, right?
Of course.
Like, I'm only on one damn show. You should see the other crazy fucks, all week on Raw,
Have you seen like XFL Jim's videos last week?
Of course. I watched.
Did you see XFL Jim tonight?
I have a real problem with that.
I haven't seen him tonight.
He literally
shaved his
shaved his
entire
head
head.
and his face.
What?
Shaved his head and his beard.
No,
It's
he
gone.
did not.
I swear to God.
Does he look weirder than shit?
Yes.
Yes.
XFL Jim, you look ugly. I haven't seen it yet.
I don't like it at all. He should have consulted with me before he did this.
Yes.
And now we've got this new guy posting videos. His name is Artie Betts. He is like
a freestyle rapper.
Oh, damn.
He's not only
he raps his bets.
He's a battle rapper that was on World Star Hip Hop. He's bisexual. He, and he'll say that. Like, I mean, I don't know that because I know.
I'm not sure. Does that change his rap game? Oh,
yes, because he talks about doing things.
Gotcha.
But he gives out his picks. He raps his picks out.
Tummy sticks.
He raps his picks out. He's ridiculous, but he knows his shit.
Love it.
He always at BTV Bets. Follow at BTV Bets.
It's just a lot of fun. I mean, the world needs to be more fun. It's fun. That's fun. That's what it is, And sometimes you see some of us fuckers, and we invite you to Vegas.
That's it. So come on out. We'll have a lot of fun. REO Speedwagon, NFL Week 1, Chupacabra Clits. Who knows?
It's
all on the table.
That Cougar Hunt at REO Speedwagon, I am telling you right now.
Fish in a barrel.
Hey, those Cougars, they got llama hoofs down there. Those mitts are packing some moisture, but we're getting down with it. We're gonna get them all.
Barrel.
I'll bring 7 back. If you're there, maybe you've never had a Cougar. Reach out, let me know. I'll buy you a drink. I'll get you a Cougar. Let's go. It's what I do.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So hit one of us up. We're going to be out there September 10th to the 14th in Vegas. It's going to be a great time. Follow at BTV Bets on Twitter. We're out. We'll see you next Sunday, 11 p.m. Eastern for the backdoor cover. Brian, thanks for joining us again. Kyle,
I love
pleasure.
I love you guys. Of course, I love you guys. It's perfect.